Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Spiritual sex and candy, yeah.
Hey, you sensual souls, it's Spiritual Sex and Candy. I am Heather, your Shamanic Sweetener, and of course, we have my co host, the illustrious Freedom Jedi, JP Atkins. Hi,
Hello, Heather.
JP.
It's so nice to see you.
It is so nice to see you this evening. We are on episode 33.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah,
it makes perfect sense.
yeah, we're gonna ditch the date and seduce yourself. Embracing the power of self love. But what we're really going to talk about is being single and
Because
what,
he's single again.
yeah,
Hold
or
on to
still.
your man.
I'm like the forever single friend. So,
Yeah,
how you doing today?
it has been amazing whirlwind of every emotion you can possibly hit, like all the way through.
Yeah,
So I'm just kind of smiling that it's and the puppies are not happy with me. I'm not in my normal spot. Um, and they're like in my face, as you see. Go lay down.
I can see that.
They decided that, and I'm traveling, didn't have time to really set up, so this side's easier to set up. So that's why you guys get this side. And I'm going to have to tear it all down to go like the 4 blocks back to the place because someone was in my spot. So
Right. Right. This is like
yay!
temporary to do the
Like
podcast because
literally.
you were on a time limit this afternoon, right?
Yep. I'm on a
Excuse
time
me,
limit
folks, if
today.
today I'm kind of a little out of it. I woke up with a migraine this morning and medicated myself, and I've just kind of been not myself all day. Let's put it that way. My body's kind of, I have fibromyalgia, so when stuff like this happens, my body is like, "Err," and so I'm kind of in and out of it a little bit. I'm not my usual upper jittery,
Oh, I got upper handled for us
bigger,
today.
big energy, right?
I got the handle today. We're all good. I'm on. I'm on probably 12 right now. So
I'm at
uh,
like energy wise, probably a 3 or 4. Yeah.
I got you. I
But
got
let's
you.
do our trigger warning. We are a trigger warning. This is Spiritual Sex and Candy, and we are going to talk about all of the things. We're going to talk about spirituality. We're going to talk about some sex. We're going to talk about drugs, and the rewards of what happens when all of that kind of comes together. Sometimes we will also probably talk about. We could talk about religious trauma, sexual assault. Unaliving yourself, all of those things that make people really fucking uncomfortable. Oh, and we like the word fuck. So, if any of those things bother you or you feel that you could be triggered, please by all means go find something else to listen to. We really, really do appreciate you stopping by and we love you, but we don't want the hate. So, bye bye
We're a no
now.
hate zone. We love
No
you.
hate zone.
Bye.
Yeah, we are a safe space for all.
Truly, truly. And today, it, one of the wonderful things I did, as you know, is I went did an energy session, which I don't do often enough, and so which is why I'm on 12, it's because my energy is like here, and and I had such a short window. Like I knew that I was like I'm on a time frame. Like if
Yeah.
anything was to go wrong, it would have like messed up everything. So, uh, and it went wrong. So that's how it goes sometimes. But yeah, it was really interesting. It was really fun. Um, And this it's such a different thing for me to be doing in person stuff
Yeah.
because I don't do a lot of in person at all. So when I do in person anything, it's like, oh, you're a human. You're there. I can feel you. Like I touched you. Um, so it's kind of beautiful and it's wonderful and I love it.
Yeah, I
I
love
love it.
doing in-person sessions, which we don't get to do very often. We are a lot of online. I do energy sessions online all the time. If you come and get any kind of session with me, be it a reading, anything, you're getting an energy session with me. That's how it
Yeah.
works out. Um,
If you
it
sit and do a
is.
podcast with her, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. If you come in, I mean that is true, pretty much. If you come in contact with me, if you are close to me, you get energy quite a bit. But today we're going to talk about seducing ourselves, and really, I want to touch base on, last week we talked about self love, and that is regardless that when we talk about self love, that needs to happen whether you're in a relationship or not. And then there's like a next level when you are single, right? Because when you're in a relationship, you kind of get some of that from the other person, or at least you should be. If you're not, that's a whole nother discussion that we should be having. But we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about giving yourself, when you're single, all the fucking things that you need when, in that regards.
Yeah, and I mean it's one of the hardest things I had to learn how to do on the road is go and do simple things by myself.
Yeah.
Like go to a movie. I swear to you, it was one of the weirdest experiences I had the very first time I did it. And just with because I never went to a movie by myself. I always had somebody else. Like even if it was a friend or a date or whatever, it's not an activity I do alone. And so when I started the first time I did it, I was in Tennessee and I'm like, this is weird. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know what popcorn to order. Like, I'm a popcorn holic. I ordered the big one and I still ate all the big ones. So I don't need anyone else to share popcorn with. One of the very first things I bought for me when I got this RV, because this RV has a microwave, I bought a microwave popcorn maker that it's the bowl and it
Oh yeah, and
so
it's
like
like a silica. Is it like silicone? It
mhm,
collapses.
yep,
I have one of those in my storage unit. If you,
yeah, it
for those of you listening, I have a big huge bowl of popcorn sitting right next to me right now. As he said, he didn't know what size popcorn, because I was munching on popcorn earlier. So,
because
um,
it's popcorn. That's
'cause it's popcorn, right?
it's popcorn. It's healthy. It's a healthy snack. Um, depending on how you what all you put in it, but most of the time you're not putting anything really really bad in it. So
Correct.
you're not unless you're doing caramel corn and all that kind of good stuff, and you know to each their own. I'm a little bit more of a I'm a little more of a purist. Actually, I have a
Mine is today's is of course butter, of course, and I do pan, cook it in the pan, old school. But I got some dill pickle seasoning. I know this is totally off subject, but dill pickle seasoning. And no, it's not pickling spice. It's like dehydrated pickles, basically. Yeah, that was a yummy combo. But making yourself popcorn, that could even be a thing, right? Like,
it could
doing for yourself when you are single and not. So I was a single mom, which is a little different because I had my little broke best friend with me all the time, right? When you're a
uh-huh.
single parent. So being single was like not really a big deal because I had a kid and so I was always doing stuff with her. But um I remember when she left to go stay with her dad for a school year. Like she moved to a different state with her dad. She was like 15. And I did not know what to do with myself. I did not, and if she ever listens to this, she's going to be mad that I say this. But then I started kind of living my best life. Um, but one of the things that I had to learn to do for myself, because I didn't mind really going out by myself, as far as like, I could go to the bar by myself if I really wanted to. And things like that. But I didn't really take myself to dinner
Hmm.
and cooking for myself. Now, luckily, I had a roommate, so like the going out to dinner, if I really wanted to go out, we would go out together. But the cooking for myself was such a huge, huge thing.
Yeah, cooking for me. Um, Luckily, I think that I got a step down because I had mom for a while, and mom a lot of times wouldn't eat or was on like a weird diet, so I was making 2 meals or what have you. Um, so I kind of got the step down to being able to cook for just me um, early. Bars are fine. I could go to a bar all day long
Yeah,
because in my mind, at a bar, I could pick somebody up if I wanted to.
right,
Yeah, it's
right.
it's 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 hunting ground. So I have to really watch myself that I'm not just like trying to hunt, right? Um, but the movies was a really really awkward.
I can't say, I
Especially
don't know that I've ever been to a movie by myself, to be honest.
just like I because I like the Marvel movies,
Yeah.
and so and and I watch enough of the people that like break them down. One of my big guilty pleasures is watching New Rock Stars, guys. If you hear this, hi, love you guys. Um, but it's an absolutely they break down everything, and so if I'm watching something, if it's not like really a show that I'm watching and like really I'm listening to them like talk about what's up, what's coming up, what's new, what's again hype for the next one, breaking down whatever's going. And so if I miss a release, if I wait too long, they've already done the spoiler one, the spoiler breakdown. Like they wait like 2 days, 3 days, maybe if you're lucky, they have a spoiler breakdown. And so then I can't even look at my YouTube screen because I'm gonna get spoiled somehow. And so I normally see things Marvel, especially Star Wars. Normally, like literally, if I don't see it, like I see it by that Tuesday.
That's so
And
funny. Yeah, I don't know that I've ever been to a movie by myself. I've definitely been to a restaurant by myself. I think that is super peaceful. I think
it
going and
can,
eating is super peaceful because I don't have to worry about finishing so that we can leave, or you know that's one of the things I miss about not having a vehicle right now, is being able to go work someplace different by myself. Like, so I have no issue like going to a coffee shop and sitting by myself with my computer. I will take a book and go eat someplace, um and read and take notes and journal and study, and like I have no problem doing all that stuff by myself. I actually miss that sometimes. Um because yeah.
yeah, it is peaceful doing some of those things by yourself.
Yeah.
One of the things that I hate doing with anyone else, like absolutely drives me up the wall and has for long, long time, shopping. I don't want anyone else with me in the grocery store. I don't want, I need to, like, anyone I know. Like, obviously, there could be other people. I just don't want to be beholden to somebody. I don't want them to question if I get a hair up my ass and decide that I want um, French onion dip all the way at the back of the store after I've gone all the way through everything and get all the way to the front and say, you know what, I want French onion dip and some chips and go all the way back and come all the way back to the front and then decide I want milk or something. I don't fucking care. You don't worry
Right.
about what I don't want anyone work with me because I don't make lists very often. Um, so yeah, I know that drives Heather absolutely insane. Like I got that whole like physical reaction from her, and a lot of times it's just whatever I feel like at the moment. And how I typically shop, I go through the meat aisle, I see what kind of meat's on sale, what they've, but I kind of have a staple of what I normally get. Unless, again, I have a wild hair, I'm following a meal plan,
Well, to be honest, when it's just me, I usually don't make a list unless there's something specific that I really need, so that I remember to pick up what I really need. Um, if it's just, yeah, if it's just me. But I do have OCD, and so there are certain things that, like, if I'm gonna make a list, it has to be in the order of the grocery. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. If I know the grocery store well enough, then it will be in the order in which it goes through the grocery store, so that I'm, yeah. I get that from my dad though. My dad was very much like that. Like he, made the list according to where it was in the grocery store. So all like things were together. I don't know. It makes sense to me.
if I do, if I do make a list for some random reason, I do. I'm pretty good at having it pretty much in aisle order.
Yeah.
Um, at least in the same aisle, I know that the stuff would be in the same space. Like even because when you switch grocery stores, you do, you know what I mean? You kind of
Right.
know it's kind of, they're all in basically the same arrangement. The aisles are all the same, all have all the same stuff in them. You just got, the aisle might be in the wrong spot. You know what I
Right.
mean? International foods is going to have your pasta and your rice. Like,
Right.
it's
Yeah.
going to be there. A little bit of Mexican. Um, that's such a random thing. Yeah, but grocery shopping by with anyone else, I don't care. When I was dating, I'm like, don't know. What do you want me to pick you up?
There are times I wish now I could go to the grocery store by myself. But that's a
Yeah,
whole nother conversation that we're just not gonna have.
we're not going to have that conversation either today.
No, but taking care of yourself when you're single and showing yourself some love while you're single is super important. I have pretty much, um, for the majority of my adult life, I've been single. And I talk about this a lot, right? I've been in a couple of relationships, but for the most part, I'm the single friend. And it's funny how we get like categorized. Everyone always wants to know if I'm dating, who I'm dating, why am I not dating if I'm not dating? When am I going to decide if I'm going to date again? You
Yeah.
know, if am I ever going to date again? I was married for a very short amount of time. When my ex-husband and I decided to get married. Now, mind you, we decided in like 3 days we were going to get married. So we decided on a Wednesday we were going to get married that Saturday. But we like packed the little chapel because I'm not kidding you. Um,
I can totally see this.
we did, yeah, and of course it's Vegas, so it was really easy to do.
Right.
But we literally called people and said, "What you doing Saturday night?" I called my dad and said it. "What are you doing Saturday night?" And he's like, "Oh no, I'll have to, ask Mel what's going on." He's like, "Why?" And I said, "Because Lyle and I are getting married Saturday." And he goes, "Well, I guess that's what we're doing Saturday, right?" And um, and then he said, and then he's like, "Well, I would prefer to know him better, blah, 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 whatever." But we
Yeah.
packed the little place because not only did my friends not believe it, but his friends didn't believe it either. So, like, everyone that was close to us was like, these are the two people we thought we would never see get married.
Right.
We would, and to be honest, I don't care if I ever get married again. Now, would I like a partner? I would love to have a life partner. I would love someone who is just down to, I don't want to say partner in crime because that's not the right, or ride or die. I hate that too. I want someone to do life with me, you know. Um, I don't know that I ever need that piece of paper again, but
I
I like the ability to just say peace out.
I it would be someone very special.
Yeah, I
It
like
would be
being
someone
single.
very, very special that I would take on more than a companion.
Yeah. Yep.
I Ever since you gave me that word, it's like that's the word. That's great. You know,
Yeah.
um, I wouldn't mind having another companion right about now. I don't think it would be fair to them with everything I'm going through. I'm not in a space that no, no,
Sometimes, you know, people say, well, maybe that's the perfect time for you to meet someone. And
nope.
um, I disagree. Yeah, I'm with you. I disagree with that. I think there are certain times in our lives that you need to deal with shit on your own. And to truly change, if you're looking for something different than who you've dated in the past or that sort of thing, to truly be able to do that, um, you have to be alone for a while to figure that out. And
Yeah,
when I say alone, I do not mean talking to five guys or five girls or like that's not what I'm talking. I'm not talking about being alone and then trying to play the
or
field the whole time and do all the
or
fun
on the
things. Like
apps,
that's not what I'm talking about, you
right?
know. Um because I know people like that where they're like, I'm single and I'm a strong, independent woman, but I'm talking to three or four different dudes right now and trying to make something work or hope that something works with one of them. And like, I'm talking to this many men right now, zero men. And I tried this week. I have to
I,
just throw this out here.
please do.
So a couple weeks ago, I was on Facebook dating. I started talking to this dude. He seemed pretty cool. We talked a couple times, decided we were going to go out. Now, this is where I should listen to my intuition and not Jeff. I love you, Jeff. Jeff wasn't the only one that said this to me, though. But about halfway through the week, towards the time of the date, I was like, okay, I'm getting bored. This guy's not really communicating. He would answer questions when I text him and things like that, but there was no like real communication. And then it got to the point where I felt like I was pursuing him more than he was pursuing me, which uh, no, like no. And we ended up not going out. And it was and he just kind of ghosted where he like we talked Friday morning and went back and forth a little bit. And then I think it's because I didn't message him after that. I had decided that if he was not going to message me and give me details, and if I had to ask him, because I'd asked him the night before, like, are we still going out? Right? And he's like, yes. And I'm like, okay, well, let's do lunch. Let's make it a little, a little more casual. And then there's not this pressure. We can hang out if we vibe. And he was like, sure, we could do that. And then nothing. And I was like, oh, I'm not playing this game. Right.
Yeah.
And so I didn't, now, to be fair, we kind of ghosted each other because I didn't attempt to get a hold of him again either after that. And, um, and at the end of the day, instead of doing the thing that we want to do, which is I'm all about teaching and bettering and leaving people better than I found them. And I really wanted to message him and say, just a little pointer here. If you're not digging someone after a week or so, just say, hey, you know what? We're not vibing like we were before. I'm not interested. Maybe we shouldn't go out, especially if they ask you, are we still going out?
Right.
Right? Because then at that point, I gave him an out. You know what? Something came up. I'm working, whatever. Like, you could even make some shit up, by the way. Like, if you're worried about hurt feelings. But at the end of
Right.
the day, I should have listened to myself and just told him a couple days prior to that. You know what? I'm not feeling this. There's like really no communication. You're not really wanting to get to know me, and I'm good. Like I'm good with it. I did not. I'm proud of myself though. I did not say anything when he did not pursue going out, and I just deleted him from everything. Because I knew at that point, this is another thing in being a female, and I don't know how it works for gay men, but as a single female, If I were to message him a message like, "Hey, just FYI, this is a better way to handle this situation," then I'm just a crazy bitch,
Uh-huh.
right? She can't accept that whatever whatever they tell themselves in their brain. Um, and so I just deleted him.
Yeah. Um, the last time I had that situation that was like really stupid, um, it was October, and I had a key holder that just ghosted me, and now he's my key holder. And luckily, I didn't give him all the keys because that would have been ridiculous, and I don't trust anyone that much. Um, and you know, he comes back 2 weeks later and was like, "Well, blah 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 blah," and I'm like, "Dude, at any point in that time, in 2 weeks, you could have said I'm alive, I'm sick, I'm in the hospital, anything."
Yeah.
But no, you just ghosted me for 2 weeks. Absolutely ghosted.
Yeah.
I'm like, that just doesn't work for me. Does not work. And it really kind of bummed me out because everything was vibing really well. Um, and I do honestly believe that he was sick, but
Right.
fucking, I'm a human. I don't know if you're dead.
Right.
No one's gonna tell me. We're not in that kind of relationship that someone's gonna tell me you're dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like I was introduced to everybody. So, and you lived in Detroit.
Right.
you
Yeah,
know,
like I don't know, give people the common courtesy that you want,
yeah,
and like I said, even if it's just A, you should just be honest first and foremost. But if it is that you feel that you're going to hurt their feelings because you feel they're really into you, then you can at least have something, hey, I had to work, hey, but really just be honest. You know what? It's not vibing as much as I thought it was. Because this was the guy who called me and was like, we were talking and he's like, "You're perfect." And I go, "Oh, no, I'm not." Like, don't even put me on that pedestal. No, no, I am not. And he's like, "Well, you know, I like to see the positive things and not dwell on the negative." And I go, "I'm all for that too, dude, but let's not start this off with you think that I'm perfect because
right.
I'm not living up to that. Like I'm not living up to that. I'm a fucking bitch. I'm very well aware that I'm a fucking bitch, just for the record.
But we love you for it. We always know where we're gonna be. You know exactly where you are with Heather.
Yeah.
It's one of
Yeah.
the things I love about her.
Which that's intimidating for men too.
I think this is part of like having yourself so healed, and not healed is the wrong word, but having yourself understanding yourself so well that you can just say what it is that you need to say, and there's no charge to it. It's
Yeah.
like this is fact. You know, I'm fucking crazy sometimes. Right now, I'm grieving and I'm emotional, and I don't know where I am and or what I need. So yeah, no, bringing somebody into this, like actually dating somebody right now, I don't even want them in my bed, much less, you know.
Right.
Would it be nice to have someone to hold me right now? Yes. Would it be nice to have somebody say, "Come on, let's go. Let's go get a coffee. Let's go do something. Let's go out."
Right.
Right down to now that I know this is going to actually run tonight. I'm debating whether or not I'm going to go do karaoke because I can, and I'm out. Um,
Right. Yeah, I'm so confident in myself and I am so comfortable being single that sometimes it's a little scary because um I have also had friends on the other side of that say, "I really worry that you don't open yourself up to anyone truly." And truly connect with, like you don't allow yourself to open up enough to connect with someone truly. And yes, I have over the years, and they die, and they um I, yeah, which is a legit thing, you guys. I really was with someone who I like, we adored each other, and he OD'd.
Yeah.
And you know and then I was with someone who I had to put in prison for sexually assaulting my child. And he was probably one of the only men that I had ever been with who, like, truly just saw me for me, like, at my worst, when I was super sick and I was throwing up every day, and I was like legit really sick. And 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 then to find that out was, it, yeah.
It puts a barrier between trust. I
Yeah,
mean,
for sure.
I could just imagine. I mean, even from my perspective, Eddie, you know, it was 5 years. He was on drugs for 5 years without me knowing.
Yeah.
Really, what I knew is that we weren't having sex because he didn't feel like it, or we just weren't in the same space at the same time. A lot of
Yeah.
times because I was working so much. And then when that stopped, that's when the issue started because I was there, and then he couldn't hide, and then instead of you know um, staying steady, he decided that drinking was a good idea too. It was breaking things, and so it really, someone who truly, I do believe, truly loved me.
Yeah.
I mean, like, really, truly is one of the people that I can probably say love me very much. But the problem with that is that made me have to go into places that weren't good for me,
Well,
and
and I think they loved a version of us that doesn't exist either. So it's hard now to say, like, the person I was who picked those individuals,
oh yeah,
I am so not that person anymore. So for me, it was one or the other. Either we had a really good connection, my ex-husband, my, the the creeper, as I like to call him. I don't like to say names. The
yeah,
creeper. Um was we had a really good connection, but there was no physical, right? So with both of them, sex was an issue, for different reasons. Um, if I have a really good sexual relationship with someone, then that is where it stops. It's just a physical thing. So, to be honest, if I could find someone that fucked the shit out of me and we got to hang out all the time and had a really good time together, I don't know what I would do with myself, to be honest. Um, because up until this point, it's kind of been one or the other. And part of that is that I can very much turn myself off emotionally while having sex, like men do. And I say that generalized because women are more and more in this space,
yes,
where sex is not emotional attachment anymore. Right? Men used to be very, very good at this, and now the roles have kind of reversed a little bit. But men do not like it when you treat them the way that they have treated other women, by the way.
no, no, they're used to the energy, and they're used to that
Yep.
openness. And God, I gotta say this out loud. I hate when I have to like contradict my life choices. Um, but energetically, you do imprint with people
Yeah.
every time you are intimate with them, and you have to really watch yourself. And once you start understanding the energy that you're walking into, um, you really do need to guard yourself and like question if
Yeah.
you want to like exchange energy. And one of the things I've done in the past year or so, about a year, is really felt energetically. more than I've really been putting it out there, like in an energy way when I'm on an app or I'm anywhere, and if the energy isn't like 100,
Yeah.
I'm I'm the first to turn it down, make an excuse, do something, because it makes me like, I'm like, ooh, there's something there. I don't know what's there. I don't need to know what's there. Um,
Well, that's why I have not dated in like 5 years. And it was
mhm,
on I mean, there was a very specific, it was, it was a very conscious thing
yeah,
to not date, to not be physical with anyone. And that was the reason, because I wasn't fully 100% satisfied.
yeah, I got it. I
Because
true.
there was no emotion to that. But they had access to my energy. And so when I really started to heal and do all the work and really get down to like what type of relationship, I won't settle for less than
Hmm.
them stimulating my brain as much as they do my pussy.
Your biggest sex organ is your brain,
Yes.
and if it's not, we're going March, y'all. The Odyssey in March is gonna go through this a lot. Like, we're gonna talk about how to have really good sex, and how to. It's called Master March, so we're gonna have some fun with that. But if you're not, it's just why
Yeah.
I'm very good to me, and
Right. Right.
often I think to myself, like, yes, I want, yeah, would it be nice? Like, I've been joking that I've been looking for a blowjob for what, 2 months now, um, just to like clean the pipes, and it's like every time it gets close, something's like energetically off, or something like timing's off, or you know, just whatever. I've had to go in and change dad. Um, by the way, yeah, I won't even say that on here. Bad, whole bad thing happened today, but yeah, it's just it's like,
It's
why
because
I just might as well.
because when you start really taking care of yourself and you are seducing yourself, meaning that you're taking care of all parts of yourself, including um,
Hmm.
pleasuring yourself in every way, you find that it's what is the other person going to add to my life that I'm not already giving myself, right? That's where that pure power in self-love comes from, right? Is loving every bit of yourself and being able to know what you really want. Um and if someone else is not going to enhance that in your life and enhance your life and um bring value to the situation, then what is the point in them being there, right? If they're not
Like,
adding value to you and your life, then then I don't want it.
I don't need it.
Right.
Uh, If Yeah, if you're not adding value,
Yeah.
freely adding value, let me add, because there's been people that has kind of thrown in my face, um, and that's no bueno. It's about a free exchange, and they weren't denying that I added value too. It was just the way that they put that.
Right.
Um, and I've had a couple people very recently, just kind of throw in my face, and to a point where I'm like, I don't need any of you. Like, really, truly, I live in a freaking self-contained little canister right now.
Yeah.
I don't need, I don't need you. I don't need any of you. So
And there's
Yeah,
a
it's
power in being able to say that, by the way, and feel that truly. And sometimes that can be, you can be overly independent as well, right? So that's where I get that a lot of where a lot of times I am overly independent. And there is some, no matter how far I've come and how much healing I've done, there still is a fear of allowing someone all access to me,
Mhm.
that they're not going to use it against me,
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
right?
I totally understand that. And there's something about just letting that go. I totally get that. And and on the other side of that is I've had it thrown in my face
Right.
recently,
I don't
recently,
know how many
recently.
guys, I can't tell you how many guys have told me, you're like my ride or die, and I wouldn't want to ruin our friendship by being in a full relationship with you because I know that I can't give you everything that you deserve, and I would fuck it up, and I would rather have your friendship and know that you've always got my back than to have a relation.
Yep.
And I'm like, do you know how many times I've been told that in my life? Fuck off. Like, isn't that the whole point in having a ride or die? Which I really hate that term, by the way, because the Bonnie to my Clyde, they died, right? Like
Yeah.
in a shootout, they died. That's not a goal that you should have. The
My
Romeo to my Juliet, they died.
yeah.
You know,
That's how much my Louise.
I'm just saying.
Let's go drive off a cliff. No. Um,
Right.
yeah, I'm not ready for the cliff yet. Um,
No, but and I also know all kinds of women who, like I said, jump from man to man to man to man because they're not comfortable enough with themselves to not be in a relationship. I've watched that over and over and over again. Um, and I, yeah, I'm not that one. I'm not that one. I would, and I think that is where I got, even more so the hyper independence of, and the using of the men. um because and that's why I was with married men for, I would hook up with married men because it was easy and convenient, and I could be like, no, don't leave her because I'm not going to be
yeah.
with you. Like, not a good idea, buddy. No, nope, nope, nope. You know, the grass is not greener, and I wouldn't be with you anyway because you just cheated on your wife with me. So I'm sure as hell not going to be with you. Um, I
It's
I was like the best mistress though. Like, let's schedule a time, let's have a good time, and then you go about your life and I'll go about my life, and all is good because I don't want that side. And it's funny because I also had people, like, I had this one guy that I messed around with for years and years, and off and on, and um he was a very 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 good looking gentleman. Let me just put it, and then some friends of mine who knew that we had been hooking up assumed that I wanted a relationship, right? So that was the other thing, is people would assume that I wanted more out of what was actually going on. Um which I never did. But then later, I actually had a friend of mine send me a picture of this individual, and the individual had gained a whole bunch of weight and all of this stuff, and said, "Look, you dodged a bullet with this one." And I thought it was rather interesting that even after years of me saying, you realize that's not what I was in that for, right? Like, you realize that I never really, like, I didn't want to date him.
right.
he was a good lay. Like we had a good time together. And then I sent him to work afterwards. You know what I mean? Like he left my house and went to work. Like I'm good to go. And people still thought that I couldn't possibly have that emotionless, And on the other side of that, I can love you and not want to be with you. Because that was a big lesson that I learned over the years is I can love someone and enjoy their time and not want anything more than what it is.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Definitely.
And men don't get that. Like, I told a dude one time, like, well, of course I love you. That same guy. I said, well, of course I love you in some way. And he was like, whoa, 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 whoa. And I go, I didn't say I was in love with you. I didn't say I wanted to be with you. I said I loved you. I said, you think I've been fucking you all these years and I didn't have some sort, like, didn't care about you in some way? That's
Right.
just fucking silly.
Right.
And just because
There's
you don't want to admit that you obviously have some sort of feelings for me, or you wouldn't still be fucking me. And he was like, oh, well, yeah, when you put it that way. And I'm like, there you go.
I have I have a very good friend. I have a very good friend that I met. So I met 3 people right after I left my ex, like within a month of each other. And all 3 of those people are still in my life. And it's when I said, oh, I can't do apps. Because it was like, whew, they were all clingy. And it was like, I was not ready for clingy at all. Like, not
Right.
even a little bit. Uh, and I had 3, like back to back. All 3 of them are still in my life, which is kind of funny. And we've all been friends now for 10 years, over 10 years. I just married the one to his partner. And then the other one, there's another one. There's another one that the 3, he got married last year.
Yeah.
And but I was the transition into gayness in his relationship. So it was a very weird and open relationship, and probably the problem with that we had was how open that relationship was. And if it wasn't that open and I had a little bit more control of that relationship, it probably would have been steered a whole different way.
Right.
If you listen to me, that whole thing. And then the third person I talked to 2 days ago. We are still really good friends. He gave me a wake up call that I told Heather about, which was funny as hell. And we've been
I
friends
have one that I'm
for
still really good friends with that sends me memes all the time. We talk back and forth a little bit. He was also one of my long-term friends with benefits, and he saw me, he was there for me through some really unpleasant times in my life,
yeah,
and we're still really good friends, I mean, he still calls me sometimes and this crazy bitch, and I'm like, okay, what did you do, that sort, I'm always that, and he's like, fuck you, you know me too well, and I'm like, yeah, well,
yeah. We kind of
um
known you for 20 years now. We should,
yeah, yeah, it's kind of funny, but I really enjoy being single. I enjoy not having, I enjoy being able to do whatever the fuck I want when I want. I do what I want.
I do what I want.
I do what I want. I
Um, yeah, I do enjoy being single. There has been a few times now through this whole thing. Um, I wish I would have met my companion probably a month earlier, and had a time to build more of a relationship, so that we had this time wasn't we didn't have enough depth of that relationship for it to really work through this time. And so I wish I would have had a little bit more time before to really build the relationship, so that right now, because it would be nice if I was going up to karaoke tonight and seeing the companion, or thinking about Valentine's Day in 10 days where New World Order comes out. I told you I'm a Marvel fan. And it comes on Valentine's Day. So, it would have been nice to go and do Valentine's Day with the
Someone.
companion in the movie. Right.
Right.
Um, but it wasn't fair for him, because he didn't have enough good of me to deal with insanity of me.
Right.
Because I'm so not balanced. I'll be the first to tell you, my peace and love is broken, and my zen is totally
So
off
broken.
kilter. It's just not. One of the challenges I had today was like, I'm gonna go do energy work, and so I spent like 4 hours in grounding, so
Yeah.
that I can be the vessel that I need to be for that moment. And went home, and as soon as I got home, all that 4 hours and all that energy work was like, yeah. So it's been, and I'm allowing myself that time too. So I'm not trying to beat myself up and say I'm an evil, horrible person. I'm not. Um, I'm in a transition time, and I'm trying to figure out where that lands.
Yeah.
I think that I'm being very healthy in the whole thing. And when I'm not, I get to have really good conversations with really good people like Heather, to make sure that I'm like not as crazy as I think I am. Because sometimes I think I'm just fucking crazy.
We're all a little mad here.
We're all a little mad here. Did I send you the? This has got me way off topic, but did I send you the meme about where the term Mad Hatter came from?
Yes. Which I had seen that prior to. Yes. Where they would dip the fur in the magnesium to be
Yeah,
able to shape the hat, and the magnesium seeped in because they didn't know to wear gloves. Yeah,
yeah.
it made them mad. Yeah, it's yes, yes. But if you are single and you are, to get back on topic, and we're gonna wrap this up because we're almost out of time, but
Yay.
really being comfortable with who you are as a single individual is so important. And as the holidays coming up, don't let people first off, this is not a real holiday. This is a Hallmark holiday. This
Mhm.
is a holiday that was made up um, to get people to buy chocolate, really.
Yep.
And so, of course, if you have someone that you're with, awesome. Fucking spoil the shit out of them. Make sure you do something to show them. But you should be doing that anyway. It should not take a holiday. If you
Right.
are single, seduce yourself. Buy yourself flowers. Take yourself out. Do stuff with yourself. And make sure that you're spoiling yourself and treating yourself the way that you would like a partner to treat you. Because when you do meet someone, much you value yourself is how much they're going to value you.
Go to the nicer restaurant. So this is the thing that I've realized myself. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm going to give you a secret.
Go have sushi by yourself.
Go have sushi by yourself. Go to the nicer restaurant, because what you'll do is you'll talk yourself into doing something of value, right? And not necessarily a bad thing, but the cost comes into your mind, right? One of the things I noticed for me, and when I really noticed this, I was in a coaching program. I did some stuff, and I needed shaving cream. Now, shaving cream lasts me about a year, so there is no excuse. And what's so freaking ever for me not to spend whatever the hell I want to spend on shaving cream for the one I want. Okay. And still, I was using Barbasol because there was some of the thing. And if you've ever used it, like, I don't know why it's still on the market. Like, really, truly, it's on the market right now for other purposes, like defogging your windshield. Works really well for that, not for a shaving cream. So,
Cleaning the desk off. Remember when we used
right,
to clean?
right. So I went into the grocery store and I was going to pick up something, and I knew which one I wanted because I just did a demo on it and I ran out of the demo packets I had, and I like this brand. Okay. Do you know I still ended up not buying that brand? I bought another one because it was a comparable brand, but it wasn't the brand I wanted because the other one was on sale.
Yep.
And we discount ourselves so often, and being single, it's, those things like, hey, I want to go to the new restaurant downtown, and you go, oh, I can't do that. I can't do that by myself. Oh, my friends are all busy, or whatever. Go, just go, enjoy it.
Yeah.
Take pictures, post on Instagram. Take a book, like Heather said. Take a book, take a Kindle, put headphones on, watch a movie while you're eating. You can watch a movie in the restaurant too. Do whatever you gotta do, but have the next experience.
Yeah.
Pick the next level up. That's my challenge for you guys this week, guys. Pick the next level up. If you normally go to, fast food, go to a
And
diner.
wear the nice perfume. Put on
Mm-hmm.
the nice lotion. How many women out there, and men too, I suppose, who have some really good smelling lotion that they love that is sitting on their dresser going bad because lotion does go bad because I'm waiting for an occasion to wear the perfume. I'm waiting on an occasion to wear the lotion or the cute dress that you bought or whatever it is. Put the dress on, put the nice perfume on, put the lotion on, put those shoes on that match the dress, and take
Mm-hmm.
yourself out and do something nice for yourself.
Yeah. Go same for guys. Put
Yeah.
that outfit on that you love.
Yes. Men too. Right. Put on that
You know,
GQ outfit that makes you just like go, mm, mm, that I'm wearing it, and put that cologne on. That, and I'm infamous for, I love to tell a man that they smell good. If I walk past a man that smells delicious, I will stop and turn around and tell them, I just want you to know that you smell so good. Whatever it is that you are wearing, keep wearing it because it smells scrumptious on you. And I will walk away just as quickly as I will tell a woman how much I like her outfit. If I walk past a good smelling man, I will, ooh, buddy, you smell
yeah,
good. And the look on their face is priceless, by the way, because men do not get complimented nearly enough. Women, we want men to compliment us and we need to compliment them back because I love, like, ooh, that is a nice tie that you were wearing. Like, you are rocking that tie. You smell scrumptious. Like, I am all for doing that because there is nothing better than a man in a tie and ooh, that smells good. Mm-mm-mm.
I, a nice suit. Yeah, I could. I don't like ties. It's so funny. I designed ties for so long, and I've gotten to this space where when I see a tie on, I'm like, I don't like it. Take it off. Unbutton two buttons. Um,
I love a good tie.
I like a suit. I do like a suit jacket with a couple buttons undone. Like, I
I'm
like
down
that,
with
like,
that too, but
casual,
there is something about just the
or the black
just
tie.
a
Like, if
well
you're
put together man. Mm.
it's well put together. That's a better put yourself put yourself together, boys.
Yes.
As I sit here in my comfy pants, and
I, if you
they're
could see what I'm wearing right now.
they're the I
I'm wearing
designed
Spiritual Sex and Candy merch. Go get you some. Spiritualsexandcandy.com. We got a bunch of shirts. Go check them out. Go listen to the rest of the podcast and check up. We are out of here. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me, Jeff, and doing this beautiful show.
Anytime. I'm always up for hanging out with you.
Thanks for everyone who came and listened this evening. Seduce yourself. Take care of yourself. Do nice things for yourself. You are worth it. That is how you are going to, if you want to meet someone, but really it's because you deserve to be treated that way and valued that way. So value yourself that way as well.
Exactly. I agree. You guys are loved. I'll see you guys next week.
Have a good night. Love you.
Everyone here at the True Awesome Network asks you to please subscribe, like, comment, and spread awesome.